Hey everyone, so just a recap, this was the final session in our series, The Mission of God. Understanding what the mission of God is, why He's created us, where He's called us to go, and what that looks like. We looked at the what last night and looked specifically at the Great Commission. I used this analogy of, imagine if I were to give you a game that had all kinds of pieces and boards and different working parts, but gave you no instructions whatsoever for the game. You'd be confused, right? You'd start making up rules on the spot, and it would really, in general, just be chaos and maybe get boring. You'd get weighed down by it, or you just wouldn't like it at all, and there'd be no joy at all in that game. Well, luckily for us, God has not just given us a command and given us a purpose, told us where to go. He's told us what to do. He's given us really specific instructions about what we're supposed to be doing while we're here in order to fulfill His mission and complete His mission that He's called us to. And so in the Great Commission, there were various things that He's called us to do. He's reminded us that we walk in His authority. He's called us to go. He's called us to make disciples. He's called us to baptize them. He's called us to teach them everything that He's commanded. And He's reminded us that He is with us every single step of the way. With these instructions in mind, we need to remember something that's really glorious about the mission of God and the Great Commission in general, is that following Jesus is not this list of do's and don'ts. It's not a constant guilt trip being laid on us. It's faithful obedience to a good and righteous King. It's not just praying a prayer and then off you go and you get to live your life how you want. It's joy-filled, faithful obedience. It's grace to live a godly life. Following Jesus is everything. It is life itself. And so we talked about this, that in the Great Commission, we are given all the confidence that we need to fulfill the mission of God. So young, old, man, woman, child has the ability to go, make disciples, baptizing them of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them all that I command at varying levels in different places. We can all do that because we go in His authority and we go in His presence. My challenge for you, my challenge for the teens, as a family, think about the ways that you might fulfill this Great Commission and be obedient to the mission of God where you are. And I reminded last week, parents, it's important to encourage your kids that they need to be obedient to go wherever that is that God has for them. Whether that's right here, right now in Lancaster, teaching them to go now, and in the future, being willing to be obedient to a good and righteous King. And the glory and the beauty is, this is life. To follow Jesus, to know Him, to submit our lives to Him, to proclaim Him to a world that needs Him. And so that's this short series on the mission of God that we went through together. Pray it blesses you. We're excited for what we have coming up, but pray that you would use this time together as a family to grow in understanding of what God's mission is and how as a family you can live